Hello everybody and welcome to an A+ 1101 practice quiz. We're going to go through a wide variety of multiple choice questions for the A+ 1101 examination to see if you are ready to take the exam, or maybe just to help you study if you're halfway through or just getting started on your journey. We'll go through the explanations for the answers of every question, we'll talk our way through it, and most importantly, we'll have fun. I'm just kidding. Most importantly, we'll get ready to pass the exam, but we'll have fun along the way. Okay, let's get straight into it with our first question. Now, this is not going to be a multiple choice question, guys. I'm going to get our brains warmed up. Close our eyes, start to breathe a little bit, and warm up the brains by thinking about this one here. Michelangelo sends Penny an email from his laptop at 11 a.m. If he wants to have his emails synchronized across his devices, should he use IMAP, POP3, or SMTP? Explain your answer. So guys, think about this one. Don't only think about what one you think maybe is right. Think about being able to actually, with your words, with your voice, explain to someone why that is the correct choice. Pause the video and have a think about it. You should have a verbal explanation ready. You should be able to talk me through it. Pause the video, think about it. We'll move on to see what the answer might be now. Although IMAP and POP3 are both used to retrieve emails, only IMAP synchronizes across all devices. SMTP is a protocol for sending emails, not receiving them. So the key phrase in the question, guys, was he wants to have his emails synchronized. If you're talking about email protocols and it mentions synchronization, immediately we're jumping to IMAP. IMAP and POP3 both retrieve emails, but only IMAP will synchronize across devices. SMTP is for sending them. All right, so make sure when you're studying generally, you don't just want to be able to think about what the most right answer is out of the multiple choice questions that are available. You want to be able to read the question, almost already have the answer ready in your head, and be able to actually talk someone through why that is the right answer and give an articulate verbal explanation. That's the goal. You want to be able to go through the exam objectives and give that verbal explanation for everything. Okay, so we'll move on to our first multiple choice question. It's going to be from the troubleshooting department, which is the one that most people seem to have a lot of difficulties with. So let's go ahead and tackle the question from that. The question reads, your computer has been experiencing sluggish performance lately, with applications taking longer to respond and overall system responsiveness noticeably slower. What are some potential factors that could contribute to sluggish performance, and what troubleshooting steps should you consider to address this issue effectively? A. Sluggish performance is solely caused by overheating, and you should clean the device's cooling system and ensure proper airflow. B. Sluggish performance may be due to a recent software update, and you should roll back the updates to improve performance. C. Sluggish performance can result from various factors, including high resource usage by applications, low disk space, or running in power-saving mode. Checking Task Manager, freeing up disk space, and adjusting power settings are recommended troubleshooting steps. Or D. Sluggish performance indicates a virus or malware infection, and you should immediately run a full system scan to remove the threats. There's a lot there. Think about it. Pause the video if you need to. We'll head into the answer now. The answer is C. Sluggish performance can result from various factors such as X, Y, and Z. So the first thing I want to look at here, guys, is some of these things could potentially in our minds be a reasonable answer, but it's not what is a reasonable answer. We need to figure out what is the most reasonable answer out of the available options. And let's quickly walk our way through this, okay? So we've got overall system responsiveness is taking longer and it's slower. So it could be because of a recent software update, maybe, but you certainly shouldn't go, maybe it's a new software update, I'll just roll back everything right now. That's a pretty extreme step. You'd want to say, maybe let's confirm it's the case before I actually start taking that action. Let's get a confirmation of that. Let's look into it a little bit more. D, down here, sluggish performance indicates a virus or malware infection. It could indicate that, but think about it. Malware infections are usually followed by other kinds of symptoms as well, such as you might get pop-ups, you might get really high CPU usage, even though you're not doing anything, because that malware might be using your CPU. I don't quite know that that's within the scope of this exam, but it comes with other symptoms as well. Now, again, you wouldn't just say it could be malware, so I'll just flush it. I'll just try to find the malware and flush it out. Just cool your roll, buddy. Chill out. Let's look for the most obvious reasons. Now here we've got, it could be from a wide variety of factors. It could be from high resource usage, you know. And do I have 6 million different applications open? Am I trying to stream a video and do a watch Netflix over here and play online games over here on my 7 monitor setup, and I'm trying to hack into the US naval base? Don't come for me. I'm not trying to do it, US. I'm not actually trying to do it. It's just a joke. Chill, you know? So maybe look at how many things you have open first. Low disk space. How's my disk space looking? Do I have update running in the background, or am I running in power saving mode? I know my laptop gets super sluggish when my power saving mode is on. So you'd want to move on to some actual troubleshooting steps. Have a look at Task Manager. What's open, right? So the most obvious comes first, and don't jump to any conclusions and just start hacking away at things. Confirm before you take definitive action. Alrighty. So the next question reads, the recording symbol on my screen, you can't see it from your perspective, but it's right in front of the question, so I might get some of this wrong. The question reads, which video cable interface is characterized by being older, supporting only video signals, and produces a fuzzier signal on the screen as the cord length increases? A, HDMI, B, DisplayPort, C, DVI, or D, VGA? Your answer coming up in 3, 2, 1. Oh, pause the video if you need to. Now. Whoops. Now. Okay, the answer is VGA. So VGA is an older video interface that supports only video signals. VGA connections are known for producing a fuzzier signal on the screen as the cord lengthens. So the longer the cord, the fuzzier the signal will be, because that video signal deteriorates. And additionally, if it's not slotted in correctly, you might get some color disfiguration as well. So HDMI, if the cord's not plugged in properly, the image might flicker. VGA, if it's not plugged in properly, you'll get some color disfiguration. All right, and the longer the cord for VGA, the worse, the fuzzier the video signal gets. And you've got some more things you can read there if you would like to. But I'm going to move on to the next question, which reads, Riley is accessing a server that consolidates log information from a wide variety of network devices for easy organization and log review. Which of the following servers is Riley most likely accessing? A, file share, B, AAA, C, syslog, D, DNS, or E, DHCP? Pause the video to think about it. Your answer coming up now. The answer is syslog. So you will need to know the differences between these servers. Okay, you'll need to know, based on the name of a server, what it does, what its function is. So that means you'll pretty much need to know all of this, guys. You'll need to know what a DNS server is, what a DHCP server is, file share, print servers, mail servers, syslog, web servers, authentication, authorization, and accounting servers. So that's what that AAA is. This is all taken directly from the exam objectives, okay? So these are all the servers you'll need to know about according to the official CompTIA A+ 1101 exam objectives. And I've laid that all out here. All right, we'll move on to the next one. But before we do, a quick message from our sponsors.
This video is interrupted by our sponsor, and that sponsor is me. Did you know I have a learning guide that breaks down the A+ examination by not only exam objective, but by each dot point within that exam objective? And for each dot point within each exam objective, I have comprehensive notes, active recall questions, simple questions with simple answers as well, and learning activities for those areas that I think you really need it in. So if you need some A+ 1101 resources, you're looking for some resources, I'm your guy. Head over to journeytocyber.com and grab some. All right, thanks guys. Back to the video.
And we're back. All right, let's move on to the next question, which reads, Matt works for a small company and has been asked to disable all internet browsing in order to increase staff efficiency. Which two ports should Matt disable in order to achieve this? A, 445 and 80. B, 80 and 443. C, 25 and 3389. Or D, 25 and 443. Pause the video, think about it. Your answer coming up right about now. It is 80 and 443. So these ports are, in fact, the ones that allow people to engage in internet browsing. So the answer reads, or the description reads, disabling ports 80 and 443 would effectively block web browsing for staff. Port 80 is used for HTTP, which is insecure web browsing, and port 443 is used for HTTPS, which is secure browsing. By blocking these ports, Matt would prevent users from accessing websites via standard web browsers. So you are going to need to know what protocols run on what ports and which ports you should block in order to stop people from doing certain things. So essentially, guys, here are some of those. It's maybe about half or a third of the ones you're going to need to know. This was one of the most painful components for me when I was studying, trying to memorize not only all the port numbers, but also what protocols run on those port numbers, but also what those protocols actually do. Oh my goodness, what a headache, right? But don't worry, if I did it with no tech experience and I passed on my first go, you can too. So make sure you know your ports and protocols and what those protocols do, essentially, is the message there. Now, our final multiple choice question reads, a group of research universities is collaborating on a large-scale project that involves sharing vast amounts of scientific data securely. They want to minimize costs while ensuring data security and control. What type of cloud deployment model should they explore? A, public cloud. B, private cloud. C, hybrid cloud. Or D, community cloud. Pause the video if you need some time to think about it. Okay, here we go. The answer is community cloud. A community cloud allows multiple organizations to share the costs of the cloud deployment while maintaining control and security over their shared resources. So community, you come together as a community. It's very wholesome, it's very beautiful, and you care about organizing your little cloud garden together, all right? You're working together for the cloud. So you will need to know the different cloud deployment methodologies that the exam outline for the 1101 exam. So you've got private cloud, which is a cloud that is used and paid for by one company. You own everything in a private cloud. It is mine. It's my private stash of cloud resources. You also have a public cloud, which is a publicly available cloud service where you pay to use space on a server that is hosted publicly. Someone else pays for the equipment. It's not my equipment. They have the equipment. I just pay to rent some space on that equipment. Google Drive is a good example of this. You also have a hybrid cloud, which is a combination of any two cloud deployment methods. And we just went through what a community cloud is. So I'm going to leave you with some homework for today, guys. And that homework is to make sure you can answer this question. There's no multiple choice options here. What is the principle behind a toner probe, and how does it assist in locating the other end of a wire or cable? Make sure you can verbally describe that to someone. If you can answer that now, fantastic. If you can't, that is your homework for the day. Okay, make sure you can do that. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. If you want to have a look at my other A+ practice quizzes, you can click about here, we'll say. If you want to check out my performance-based question simulations, you can click here. All right, guys, I'll leave you to it. See ya.